Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another experiment where today we're taking a look at what would happen if Red Bull owned a club in Thailand, specifically Bangkok. That's where it was originally formed, Red Bull. It's where it originally was designed and all of that good stuff. So I thought it would be interesting to see what would happen if they owned a Bangkok football team in the first division of the Thai league. They've got all the facilities, 30,000 seater stadium with Red Bull in the Red Bull Arena in Bangkok. They've obviously got the classic kind of colour kits. They've got the badge as well, as you can see there. Predicted to come third in the division. They've got a good academy set up, youth recruitment and youth facilities. Coaching and training facilities aren't bad either. Decent reputation, as that should hopefully bring in some bigger names as well, but certainly a club that will be needed to develop to be able to get to a stage where they can fight for the title. Thailand are currently 9th in the overall competition rankings, and so it'll be interesting to see how they get on and what kind of performances they get up to over the next few years. If you like this idea and you want to see more sort of stuff like this, make sure you let me know in the comments down below, and of course like and subscribe so you don't miss out on that good stuff. But let's jump ahead now and see quite how they might get on. So here we are, we're at the end of the first season. The Thai League is over now, and Red Bull Bangkok actually finished second in the league. They were 7 points off Buriram United, who tend to win the league. They've got a good kind of form of winning the league, apart from the last couple of seasons actually. But otherwise, they've been pretty good. They did get the top goal scorer, Heberty, being that one, the Brazilian, who seems to have banged in the goals for them. Obviously, Bangkok United were the original team who were bought out by Red Bull Bangkok, so he was hanging around from the previous club, but 17 goals, 2 assists and 3 player of the matches is pretty good going for them indeed. Let's take a look at Red Bull Bangkok though, and see what they've kind of got going. Anthony Carter up top is a player that's actually they've brought in by the looks of it. We'll have to take a look at the transfers and kind of that side of things. Heberty is their key man though, and their top prospect is Prarat Rungreng, an interesting one. Looks like a half-decent player as well. A winger, 16 years old, already made a good few appearances for them. So certainly going to try and carry on the tradition of creating players as well as buying them in. Let's take a look at those transfers and see kind of what they've done then. So looking at the season, 475k. So Pokral Anand and Michael Felgard coming in from Bangkok United, which they've technically already owned. Pirapat Kit Panjong coming in from Bambueng, and then also Thanawat Swang Chitawan coming in from Leicester for 33k. So a player who's got some good experience of a higher level football, a few outgoings as well, a few transfers that have left the club as well as loan deals. So it'll be interesting to see how that continues over the years. Looking at the schedule for this season though, how did they get on in any other competitions? FA Cup was the main other one, and unfortunately they did get knocked out in the 6th round to Chiang Rai United. So with that said, we will jump again and take a look and see if they continue to do so well. And here we are, one more year ahead as well, and it was good to see that they've actually won the league this time, and quite comfortably, 7 points clear up the top there. Heberty still banging in the goals for them, but we've also got another man that seems to have kind of taken the reins at the club. Player of the matches and average rating, Sarachat, Super Chok Sarachat, looking a very decent player indeed, having been brought in from Augsburg after being at Buriram United. So he's had a bit of money spent on him, 675k to be precise, after his move to Augsburg. So not bad. And he's done pretty well there as well, coming back to Thailand. Let's take a look a little closer at Red Bull Bangkok. We still got Prawat Rungweng as the kind of star man coming through the ranks and looks pretty decent. Some good pace there, some good crossing, dribbling, some very exciting kind of roles there that he could possibly be playing for the side. Sriracha is the key player now, with Michael Folkgaard still as captain. Transfer history though, what can we see here? £2.6 million being spent this time. No massive names that we are aware of in here, I don't think. But obviously, there are a few good players in there. Are there any further? No, nothing back there. But again, some money coming in, but not anywhere near the amount that that's being spent. Obviously, Superchok Sriracha is probably the biggest name player that you guys might recognise as well. I think I believe I have done a Wonder Kid watch on him. So if you want to know a bit more about him, have a look at that one. But with that, let's jump ahead again. Let's see if they can continue to go. How did they get on actually in the FA Cup quarterfinals this time? Losing in extra time to Chainat Hornbill. So a bit of a shame there, losing 2-1 in extra time. But it happens, doesn't it? It does happen, and it will be interesting to see if they can use the platform that they've made with coming first in the league to build on and see where else they can go next. But with that, let's jump ahead and take a look at the next stage. Okay, so we've got a couple more years on now. We're in year 2025, so we can take a look and see how they've got on. So they didn't win it the year after, but they're back on top again now. So it's kind of bouncing between Buriram United and Red Bull Bangkok. So quite a nice kind of battle between the two. Sriracha still obviously at the club, still causing problems. We've also got Ibrahim Alma, a goalkeeper that looks to have been brought in, 116 cap Syrian goalkeeper. So quite the signing, I have to say. Looks pretty decent. Let's take a look at Red Bull though and see what they've got for us. So the key player now is Santiago Rodriguez, 25 years old, Uruguayan. Made some appearances for the under-20s national team. An attacking midfielder. 3.6 million got spent on him by MC Talk and the kind of City Club group. When he also played for New York City FC. Then the £1.2 million move to Red Bull, which is an interesting little flip, but certainly looks to have been absolutely dominant in the division since his move over there. So no real surprise in that front. Transfers though, let's take a look at the last couple of years. 1.6 million was the year before. Not much on there. Ibrahim Alma joined that year, 33 years old on a free, so not a bad signing at all. Got a bit of money in as well, looking to try and make up a little bit of a loss from that loss. But 5.75 million spent this year. Sitchok Paso coming in from rivals Buriram United, along with Ibrahim Nakawong for 323,000. Wow, look at that pay. The physicals are looking very nice on that 19-year-old. Everything else, a little bit left to desire. Luis Otavio coming in from Brazil. Another player that a centre-half this time, looking with experience, coming into the side. £1.8 million being received for a good group of players. Fitcher Uther being one. Nice name, like that. Along with Imam Wiroj and Wangnan and Satham. So I'm butchering these names probably, but that's pretty good to see. That's for sure. The cat is getting right in the way for this. Let's take a look at the schedule though, and see kind of what they got on with over the last couple of years, because it looks like they would have got into the Champions League at some stage. So if we take a look, we can see in the 2024 season, they did win the Champions Cup against Buriram United, which is a good result for them. Obviously beating the rival club that is in the country. FA Cup wise, how did they get on? It looks like they made it to the 6th round, losing in extra time 1-0. In that one. So, and also in the Champions League, we can see it doesn't look like they've actually broken out of the group, although they seem to have done pretty well. Let's take a bit of a better look at this, see if we can find them in here. Yeah, they did come bottom in the end in the group with Ulsan, Akiyama and Sydney in this year's one. We're not going to go back any further, but 4 points. So it's something to work towards, that's for sure. And that was the year that they didn't win the league, actually. And they won the league this year. So some good performances in there. again, Champions League looking a bit stuck in that one. But actually, yeah, they got through in the year before and actually got to the semi-finals of the Champions League, beating Jeonbuk there, and lost in the final to Al Gharafa. I didn't see that before because it's a weird kind of way of doing it. They've got the group stage kind of later in the season, and they start the season with the end of the last tournament. But that's a shame. They've only just missed out on winning the Champions League in like their first go round in it, which isn't too bad at all, but still haven't won the FA Cup in the domestic league. But with that, let's jump ahead again one more time just to see if they can win the Champions League and what else they've got going for them. And here we are. We're 5 years on now, so we've jumped a good chunk ahead just to see how things are going for them. Still looking good with youth recruitment and youth facility, so that's nice to see. Looking at the league, how have they got on? So they actually managed to win 5 seasons running the league before this year, where they've actually dropped all the way down to third, which is quite the drop when you consider it that they've actually won the league last 5 years. And I guess reasonably comfortably. Let's take a look. If we jump back, 6 points there. Only the 1 point in that one against Buriram. And again, 3 points. And then 4 points. And then once more with 5 points. So it's you can see that it's still very competitive, which is good. They haven't completely overrun the division with their money and kind of the benefits they get from being part of Red Bull. Still 8th in the competition reputation rankings for Asia though, so not too much in that regard. Looking at the club though, we can see 6 Thai league wins. They have finally won the FA Cup twice and 4 Thai Champions Cup, but doesn't look like they've won the Asian Cup at all over this time. Let's jump back and take a look then. In the Champions Cup, obviously we can see there they did win that one. When was it the FA Cup was won? Was it this year? It looks like it might have been, Buriram United beat them 3-0. Well done. Very impressive indeed. 2026-27, we can see in the second round of the Champions League group, they did pretty well. Nothing spectacular though. And then again, the season after, quarterfinals and losing in the semi-finals of the Champions League in extra time at 3-2 to Jeonbuk. Bit of a shame that one. Bit of a shame, but they keep going. Can we see another FA Cup win? It looks like we might have a final. We do. Pathum United beat them 2-1 in extra time. Again, disappointing. Gutted for them. 29-30 though, the previous year that's just been and gone. Got knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Champions League against Ulsan. So they're competing at a good level in the Champions League. They're fighting in and around the kind of top part of it. And it was recently that they got their own back on Pathum United with a 2-1 extra time victory over them. So that's quite nice to see. Transfers, let's take a little look through, see if we can recognise any of these names. We might not be able to at this stage now, but it'd be interesting to see anyway who they've signed. We can see £3.7 million spent, 2.3 million brought in. So they're making a little bit of money from the players that they kind of bring through the club. But they are also bringing in players. Marcinho being the right back that looks like he's come in, is listed now, 34 years old, been at the club for a little while. We can see again, 2.6 million, actually made a profit this year, which is quite good to see. Putipong Fapimai going to PSG, in fact. And wow, okay, he looks a half-decent player. What a player he is. He's got 42 goals and 57 appearances for Thailand. No wonder PSG wanted to sign him. So originally, he was actually from Port. Bangkok signed him from them for 2.2 million. Before his move to PSG for 3.1, and he started to play for their first team. And what a player that is as well. Very, very impressive indeed. Jumping ahead again, Abdul Dakuray. Interesting face for an Ivorian. Abdul Dakuray coming in there. Looks actually a pretty good striker, to be fair. Some great in the air anyway. He looks very good, even though he's only 5'10". Few players going as well, making a bit of a profit on that one as well. And again, they don't seem to be bringing in many players when they do, but they have been bringing in players, and I guess they didn't need to over a few seasons because they were winning the league so comfortably. Or I say they were winning the league, so they didn't need to feel like they needed to make much change. And maybe that caught up with them in this year. That's why they dropped down to third, with, again, only 30k being spent. Bertrand Ngem Usmanu being the player that was brought in. Looks pretty decent, though. An exciting 18-year-old, 3 caps for Cameroon, a fullback. It's an exciting player to bring in. Andre Luiz as well being brought in from Brazil. Again, goalkeeper, maybe not the sort of player that they needed at that time. The star man at the moment, though, is Thirawat Ginarak, who came in from Lampton. Seems to have done pretty well for him. Is wanted by the likes of Portland, Minnesota and Cincinnati. So interesting there, 58 caps for Thailand. And the youngster that's coming through, Montri Soe Sakul, again, looks pretty decent. Looks like could be half decent. Not quite the player that we saw that go off to PSG, but still could do bits. Sarachat is still at the club. He's been there for a while, 199 appearances now. So he's obviously enjoyed his time there. He's been banging in goals each season and getting plenty of game time, so why not? But with that, we will leave it there. A little bit of an interesting one today. Make sure you leave a comment down below of anything you want to see in these sort of experiments, or any players you want to have a look at, or anything like that, and I'll be happy to take a look. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.